Hello, my name is Olivia Francis. I'm a multi award winning artist and songwriter living in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome to What's Your Birthday and What Does It Mean? Sisters Jeri Isaacs and Donna Bernard, co moderators of the popular Clubhouse room, explore life's dynamics from their unique point of view based on the day you are born. Sponsored by NashvilleGuitarGuru.com and DearWiseWomen.com. Always fun, never disappoints. It's always in the cards.
Hey, Donna.
Hey, Jeri. It was really fun the other day when we were recording because so many people ask us, what exactly is it that you do? And we were talking about it and we were like, well, we're therapy, we're therapeutics, we're entertainment.
It was so funny. I actually went right to that spot yesterday.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I got it. It was like we had talked about it and I pulled up the thing and I hit play. And it was just at that spot where you said, well, we're therapeutic and we're entertainment.
And it's like, but we didn't say it together. We are therapeutic entertainment.
Yep. There you go. Ta-da.
You heard it live. The live brainstorming of the two sisters of DearWiseWomen.com, recording tonight for 360 Talk Radio.
That was really funny.
But this is how, when people talk about starting a business together or working with, I'm fortunate to be working with my sister, Jeri. I'm here in New Jersey and Jeri's in Nashville and we're in our 60s. But when you start working with someone, part of that special sauce is being able to, bounce ideas off of each other. You're not exactly sure where you're going, but you're on this winding road together. And so live, we came up with Therapeutic Entertainment.
Right.
And now whenever I say it, people are like, that's such a great brand.
And I love it because, I do not like to use anything that's already out there. You know that. Yes. Every time we come up with a name, I Google, because I like to be original.
Yes, you do.
It really is important to me. So I didn't see anything that was called therapeutic entertainment. I think we just coined a whole new area of
a genre
unto us for ourselves. And I think it's really explanatory. I mean, I think it explains it without really even having to say. And that's what's important, right? A good, when you talk about something, when you're going to give yourself a brand, it's got to be easy to understand from the words.
Absolutely. And, you realize it because this journey we've been, the past year and a half, having this conversation and becoming this global media company. You realize you don't just have it in the first day. You have to find that sweet spot that makes sense, right? You have to find the spot and it hits you and you say, this is it. It's like the epiphany, the revelation, the audience clapping, you feel that it just happened. And then, so we actually caught it in recording how we did that.
Right. In the midst of it, in the midst of explaining what we do. That's the irony of it.
And I hope we encourage others to brainstorm like that and talk things through to really figure out the direction you want to take. Because sometimes, Jeri and I, we're going in a direction and then we say, wait a minute, that's not really what we want to do. And it's very easy to go down
those rabbit holes.
So really stay true to what you want to wake up and do every day and think it through because there's lots of ways to be distracted.
Oh,
lots of distractions, right, Jeri?
Yes, yes, very much so. But, I think that the therapeutic entertainment part just sort of, I sort of like it because it gives us, look, the reason people keep coming back is not to really get the therapy, but they get the therapy while they're being entertained. It's almost like, softly giving it to them softly, the therapy
Well, you know what it is. First of all, we're
with
both,
a smile.
of course, with a smile, always. We're both, college graduates, well educated, 30 years of life experiences. Some days I wish I could just look back and say, oh, I wish I could do this moment differently on that day, but we can't.
But you can't.
We can't make, how often have I said, I wish I could go back to like these 5 days and change what I did, but I can't. And I think though, comedy or laughter is the best medicine.
Always.
And when we can share that, even when people we're, if it's hard stuff that we're talking about, acknowledging it really lifts your soul.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's not always funny, but you
No.
know what? Not all entertainment is funny. Some of it's very sad. It's still entertainment if you're going to watch a movie that is a tearjerker.
And sometimes you just want that good cry.
Sometimes you need a good cry, right? And sometimes you need a good laugh.
Well,
And
that's true. There's a good belly laugh. You never have enough belly laughs, that's for sure.
no, and it's healthy. It's good for the people, and I think it sort of delivers the message in a way that is non-judgmental, and and wise. There's wisdom in the messages that we give, and I think that it's important what we do, and yet we don't take ourselves like so seriously that we just take ourselves a little lighter, but I think we have an important message.
But we do. And when I'm talking to people, now I'm back in the summer at the pool club, where
Back at the pool.
well, it's really interesting because this is the third of the pandemic pool season, right? And we're all different people that, because of the pandemic, we became friends because there weren't that many people at the pool. And now
Right.
there's lots of people, but these friendships of all different people became very important because
Are they all back there now?
everyone's back there. Oh, and 1,000 other people. But now these people that I would never know, we're all like together, and it's like, oh, look who's here. And it's really like a very funny family. And
Absolutely.
it
Did you bring Jessica into that family?
she is in the family. They all absolutely adore her, actually. And we're all different, yet we're all able to kind of share a chuckle with each other. And this year it was who gained a little weight, who lost some weight. The
Did you
conversation.
really talk about that stuff?
Well, we're in our bathing suits.
I know, but did anyone mention it? Like, oh, you look like you gained some weight, or oh, you look good, you lost weight. Was that said, or you just noticed it?
Then we always say somebody lost weight, and then I turn around, I go, you really think they lost weight? But we all love each other because we all, but what I was thinking is that when we have community, right, people want to know who's around them, and they're like, Donna, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, now we're on 360 Talk Radio. They're like, what? That sounds like so cool. I said, yeah, with Therapeutic Entertainment. They're like, oh my God, I need this. Can we start? Like, where should we begin? And I think then we were talking, somebody says, well, I'm a Libra. And I looked at her, I said, come on. Like, he goes, well, I get along really well with Virgos. And I'm like, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? And so it's almost like we've been talking about, everybody knows what their sign is, and it's not a stop sign. They know their astrological sign. But I think that, I look forward to continuing this journey or starting the journey as branded as Therapeutic Entertainment. And I'm just excited about it.
Me too. Because you know what? The more people we talk to, the more people we help. And that's our mission, is to help people.
Yeah, and a lot of people they eat for therapy, right? They're feeding their soul because some people eat when they're worried, or they don't eat when they're worried, or they worry. And to be able to understand, to embrace the warrior in you and own what you need to do really helps a lot of people and the people around them, understanding that they're not in this world by themselves. They have a community, and knowing how the community around them kind of works is really heartwarming.
It's funny because a year ago when we started, like, or 25 years ago when we started, we would talk about people, like we would tell them what their card was, their birthday card or two, whatever. But we've really kicked it up a notch when we started doing how people relate to each other. Like that really changed the whole dimension of what we did. It's like, it's not only about you, it's about you and your spouse or your child, like that, those connections. Like, I don't think anyone else does that.
No, and now it's funny because people come over to me because they kind of know me at the pool, and they'll go like, could you just explain this to me? And I'm like, I said, well, you know what?
No.
This is like a busman's holiday, but I didn't bring anything with me. They were like, what?
I don't know it in my head. Right.
They go, you always had everything. I said, I know, but now we
now that we have your attention.
Now that we have your attention, I don't walk around trying to go. I feel like we did like a 4-year college, like studying this thesis or something, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but I didn't bring anything. I'm just relaxing today.
Right. And they're like, what do you mean you're just relaxing? You always want to tell us what our cards were.
I know.
But I already know your cards, guys. Nothing's changed. Same thing as last year.
Well, no, but it's funny because there's always a new cast of characters that kind of come in, because there's like a dozen people, and then they bring someone who's new in the group. It's really very interesting how we're so diverse, and yet and you know what, Jeri? I feel like I'm kind of the glue of all these different groups of people, but now everybody's merging together.
Right. Well, I could see that.
But
you're like the hub.
With the hub, I'm the hub. Don't call me hubby.
No, but you're the focus, the center.
Yeah. Me and my friend Chris, he's also like the mayor of the pool.
Okay.
But it's really very interesting how, and I encourage people when they do go into the pool clubs or different places that they really do smile and talk to other people, because it's made such a difference in creating more of a community.
Right.
And I think it's important, emerging from this pandemic, on making sure we take extra, especially as women, we know how to do this, right? And if we don't, we should. This is what's going to bring our country back together, because we know the men aren't going to do that.
No, especially, no, they're not. They don't. No. Some men know how.
Some men.
But those, the other men think that they wouldn't respect them.
Yeah.
Because, they're too soft or something, like they have a heart and they know it.
True. But Jeri, what I thought we would do for the next segment, before we pause for a break, one of the early stories that we did on Dear Wise Women was about the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
And then you also talked about doing a story on the Beatles, which we never really did.
No, we never did. I don't know why.
Well, I think
something else was always very important at the time.
Well, I think it was that the Rolling Stones endured 5 decades as a band.
Right. And the Beatles, their music had such an impact, and yet they were not together very long. I couldn't believe, you know, how short a time it was, and how many young people that there are young people that don't never even heard of the Beatles. How could that be?
Let it be.
Let it be.
Can't let that be.
Let it
We
be.
can't
Let it
let that
be.
be. But I think it's important when we come back, we talk about the Rolling Stones, their music, the Beatles, and their music.
Sounds good to me.
Well,
So
because that's entertainment too.
there you go. So we're going to entertain people talking about music today, which I think is a fabulous idea. So we're going to take a break now, and we will be back in a few minutes.
How is that?